Hey guys, Coach Jason. Hope you're doing well. Today I want to talk about going over or breaking down a workout or that third part of a race or a fourth part of a race. As a coach or an athlete, have you ever heard, let's break down the mile, that third lap of the miles where people either fall apart or fall asleep, I should say, or kind of slow back a little bit to get ready for a kick and so on and so forth. Well, that's an opportunity to kind of flip the script on people. Okay, that's where you can make a prolonged move, where your athletes can make a prolonged move, and put yourself in a position to either outkick the kickers or create so much distance between you and the kickers that they can't catch you. Okay, so that's what I want to talk about today. I want to go over workout sequences that'll put you in a position to do that. I'm going to talk about some that talk over the 1500 and the mile, and then I'm going to go down to the 3K and the 2 mile. Okay, and give you some workout progressions. All right. In my next video, I'm going to go over progressions for 5K and 10K. Because it's important. So that third component, like I said, it could be the third 800-meter effort of a 2 mile, okay, or the third lap of a mile, the third 400 meters of a mile, or for a 5K and 10K, the fourth part, okay, which could be the fourth 1K component of a 5K, or the fourth 2K component of a 10K. It happens more than people think it does, okay. And I use like the Kenyans and Ethiopians. They're great examples of this. Because not only are they some of the best in the world all the time, men and women, but the way that they race is really indicative of how they train. And if you ever see some of their training, a lot of they do everything and anything. They are ready for anything, okay? And that's one of the things I appreciate them. And as America now, we're starting to really, really close the gap with a lot of our top athletes, male and female as well. But I always tell the athletes that I work at, now, I tell them, if you watch the races and you watch the Olympics or a Diamond League race or something like that, when they go, and it doesn't matter when they go, they don't come back. They don't. Okay? It's very, very rare you see a top Kenyan athlete or a top Ethiopian or Uganda rigging. It just doesn't happen. Okay? These types of workouts can help put you or your athletes in a position to do that. Okay, the top thing here is going to be shorter reps. I'm talking about the younger reps, the younger athletes. And as you get more experience and start progressing to longer reps, like the mile, you can eventually progress from like 8x200 to 8x400. Okay, which 400 is over distance, but because it's 2 miles worth of effort. But if you can do 1.5 to 2 miles worth of work at your goal mile pace at some point, then you're fit and ready to go, or your athletes are fit and ready to go, okay? But this is a way of breaking it down that kind of puts you in a position to make a move when people don't expect it, okay? And minimize falling asleep and, waiting to kick and so on and so forth. So these workouts can give you some variety. So if you're a coach and an athlete and you like more variety in your training and things like this channel is for you. Okay, so please hit that subscribe button and hit that notification next to it. I've got over 100 videos out already of great training content. I'm going to keep putting more out, but I like to talk about stuff like this that's not regularly talked about because these little things can really take your racing to the next level, your training and your racing, okay? So I want to share it. I've used these things on my athletes. I've had athletes kick from 600 meters out in a mile race or 1,000 meters out in a 3 mile or 2 mile race, and where people don't expect it. And they're like, oh my God, and you create such a gap that people can't catch you. So that's the whole point of these types of workouts. So let's get to it. So mile. Instead of 8x200 meter efforts, I have it broken down to 4x200 meter efforts. And let's say early season, it's a 1 minute recovery. Okay. Then you do your third quarter, you do a full 400 meter effort. Okay. So 1x400 and then 2x200 meters on the back end. So these could be at essentially your current mile pace. 400 could be at your goal mile pace, and then the last 200s could be at your goal mile pace. It's a nice progression workout. And again, everything with a minute recovery, and eventually you can do everything with a 30-second recovery as you get, or your athletes get more fit and more experienced, okay? Second one, 4x200 meters again at mile pace, a 600-meter effort now, okay? A sustained run at your goal mile pace, all right? And then a 200-meter effort on the back end at goal mile pace or faster, okay? Think about a race where, you just come through 800 and 220 or whatever it is, and then you make this big move with 600 meters to go, and people are like, no, don't go with him, coaches, or don't go with him. He's going to come back. And you don't come back because you made a move like that, because you practiced it. That's what this is for. Okay, give you the edge. All right. Last one, 3 by 200 meter efforts. Okay, mile pace, and then an 800 meter effort, mile pace or goal mile pace, and then a 200 meter effort at goal mile pace. And again, if you add all this stuff up, it adds up to a mile. Okay, no more than that. But this is quality work without doing 4 by 400 meter efforts at mile pace, or 8 by 200 meter efforts at mile pace. This gives you some variety, okay, and it addresses some strengths and deficiencies that you might find apparent, or you may see noticeable in races. These are things that as a coach, I look for. Okay, where do they pick it up? Where do they slow down? What are the splits? Okay, how can I address these things? Okay, and it's been very common for a long time that people tend to slow down in the third part of a race or fourth part of a race so they can gear up for a finishing drive or finishing kick. The problem with that, like I said too, is you don't really know everybody that you're going to race against all the time, and you don't know what they're doing. They could be working on speed development for a long period of time, and all of a sudden, these guys and gals have a kick that wasn't there before, because they worked on it all summer. They worked on it all throughout the winter. That's the whole point of these. Okay, put you in a position to be as versatile and as ready for everything as possible. The more well-rounded you are, the more dangerous you're going to be. Okay, period. Okay, now as you get more experience, then you can transition to some longer reps on the back end. Okay, and what we do is the third part of the race now, I do shorter stuff, but at a different pace. Okay, to practice accelerating for that part, making a shorter move. All right, so that's how I broke it down here. First one, 2 by 400 meter efforts at goal mile pace. All right, 2 by 200 meter efforts now at 800 meter pace. Okay, and then a 400 meter effort on the back end at goal mile pace. This is all with a minute recovery. Okay, if you can do it later on with a 30-second recovery or 45-second recovery, you can see the progression from one workout to the next. That's a workout that you could probably repeat 4 to 6 weeks out from the first one. Right. Next one, 2 by 500 meter efforts at goal mile pace. Okay, let's say a minute recovery. 2 by 250 meter efforts at 800 meter pace. Okay, and then another 500 meter effort on the back end at goal mile pace. Again, now the reps are a little bit longer, so you may need a little bit more. You can maybe do a 300 meter jog after your 500 meter effort. That's fine as well. And then an easy 150 meter jog after your last 250 meter effort, so you go right into that last 500. That's a little bit over distance now, so you got 2,000 meters worth of effort, okay, at mile pace. Okay, so a mile and a quarter. And keep in mind too, these shorter stuff, as you get more experience, rather than transitioning to this, you can do 2 sets of those instead of 1 set. Okay, that's another way of doing it. Okay, and it's the same thing here. Now the last one, another little bit longer. So 2 by 600 meter efforts. Okay, at goal mile pace, and let's say you take a 400 meter jog. Okay, and then 2 by 300 meter efforts at 800 meter pace. Usually current 800 meter pace, which is still faster than goal mile pace, and then a 600 meter effort on the back end at goal mile pace. If you can do them in the beginning and then accelerate and then do that again at the end, you're fit and ready to go. That's a good sign of race readiness. Okay, and again, testing yourself with a longer sustained kick. Okay, add it up, it's over distance. Okay, 2,400 meters. All right, a mile and a half worth of training at mile pace, or a little bit faster. Okay, so these are some breakdowns of the 1,500 and the mile. Okay, let's go down to the 3K and the 2 mile. Okay, and by the way, my next video I'm going to go over breakdowns similar to this for the 5K and the 10K. So you have options for that as well. All right. Now let's go to the 3K and the 2 mile. Okay, for younger athletes again, or for athletes who might be better off starting with some shorter stuff, because you could progress from 500 meter efforts at 2 mile pace to 600s, to 800s. You could do a lot of different things. Okay, but this is a great way of kind of breaking it down and making it a little bit more, giving it some variety. Okay, so 3 by 500 meter efforts at 3K pace. Okay, and then let's say you have a 300 meter jog, and then a 1 by 1,000 meter effort at goal 3K pace. Okay, this could be current 3K, goal 3K, and then either current to goal 3K on the back end. Okay, if you do that, if you plan on doing that workout again, then you can do this at current 3K pace now, and then goal 3K pace later on. Okay, the second one, 3 by 600 meter efforts at 3K pace with a 200 meter jog recovery, let's say, and then or like a 2-minute recovery, and then a 1,200 meter effort at goal 3K pace. Okay, also with a 2-minute recovery, and then a 600-meter effort again on the back end, the same way you ran the first ones. Okay, and again you add it up. Okay, 3,600 meters, slightly over distance. Okay, and then the last one, 400-meter efforts. You do 4 by 400-meter efforts at 3K pace with a 1-minute recovery. It's a shorter rep than these. And then you do an 800-meter effort at goal 3K or goal 2-mile pace. Okay, and then 2 by 400-meter efforts on the back end at goal 2-mile pace. Okay, and again, add it up. It adds up 2 miles. Okay, now let's transition to some longer reps, and then to doing some stuff in that third part of the race at mile pace. Okay, as you get fitter and more experience, and just as a progression, you want to progress towards longer reps anyway at your goal pace. Okay, that's an important component as well. All right. So the first one, 2 by 800-meter efforts. Okay, at 3K pace or 2-mile pace, and then you transition to 4 by 200-meter efforts. Okay, a mile pace down to 800-meter pace. Yes, it's faster. And let's say you have 2 minutes after these, 1 minute after these, and then after that last one, you do another 800-meter effort at goal 2-mile pace. Okay, next one, 2 by 800 meters again at current to goal 2-mile pace, and then the same 2-minute recovery, and then a 3 by 300-meter effort at mile pace with a 1-minute recovery or a 100-meter jog. Okay, and then on the back end, an 800-meter effort again at goal 2-mile pace. Okay, and then the last but not least, the 2 by 800-meter efforts again, goal 2-mile pace, and then 2 to 3 by 400-meter efforts at goal mile pace. Okay, so these had 2-minute recoveries, 1-minute recovery, and then an 800-meter effort on the back end at goal 2-mile pace again. Again, keep in mind too, shortening the reps here can have a different effect as well. Let's say you're going out and you're running a mile race, right? And you go out 220 for the 800 meters, and there's still a tight pack of people there, and all of a sudden you accelerate, you run a 65, and the coach is like, no, don't go, let him go or let her go, okay, and you don't come back. Okay, that's the point of this, is to create gaps, okay, or close gaps. That's the whole point of these types of things, whether you're going longer at that point or shorter and faster at that point. Okay, it puts you in a position to either catch up to somebody to get ready for a kick or create a gap and prevent the person with the best kick to getting back to you so that he or she can't outkick your athletes. Okay, that's the whole point of it. Okay, and then obviously the last 800-meter effort at goal 2-mile pace at the end. So these are some breakdowns. Okay, obviously there are some staple workouts: 600-meter efforts, 800s. Ks, 400s, for all different staple workouts that you might have. I've got dozens and dozens and dozens of workouts, and a lot of them, I've got videos on them, so take a look at them. I'll actually put some down below. I'll actually put a fully detailed program for 800 and 1500, and I'll put a fully detailed program for mile, 2 miles, so you could see breakdowns, okay, on how I lay out the training. 15 weeks fully detailed plans. If you want other ones from 5K to the marathon, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And you'll get full access to all of them. And, so this is my breakdown. Okay, variable. Give some variety for the 1500 mile and the 3K and the 2 mile. Again, these are workouts that can be very, very valuable. So it's up to you really as a coach to decide, or an athlete, where best to utilize them and who best to utilize them on. Okay, not everybody has the same needs at the same time. So these are certain workouts that you could put a couple of people together on. Like if you have 4 people running the 2 mile or 3K, 2 of them can do this workout, 2 of them can do that workout, depending on what they need. That's why it's important to, in my opinion, also my experience, and I have 20 plus years experience as a former competitor and a current coach, and I've coached and competed at all levels, high school, college, and post-college. I'm also a USATF certified coach, and I'm also a Wharton certified musculoskeletal and flexibility therapist. So I'm here to help you run fast and stay healthy. But I've utilized these on a lot of my athletes as well, whether it be the mile, 2 mile, 5K, 10K, and it's put them in a position to surprise people and to win races that they weren't expected to win, and so on. That's the point of these, okay? And that's why I take splits with everything whenever I have the opportunity to, or have somebody else take splits for me if I'm not there, because then I can break down the splits, and it gives you a lot of data as to what somebody might need in terms of making slight tweaks to their training. help you achieve the goal that they want to achieve. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit that thumbs up either way, or please hit the thumbs up. And I really appreciate your support. And again, for my regulars, you guys and gals are the best. I appreciate you. Be on the lookout for my next video. And if you want to make sure you don't miss it, hit that notification next to the subscribe button as well. So punch both of those. And be safe, look out for each other, and I'll talk to you soon.